Hello. Good morning. It's January the 23rd. I feel like I'm going to get lost in time once I stop doing these little announcements every day of it is January the such and such. So it is, what time is it? I think it's 10. I have a class at 11, and so I have a little bit more time today before I have to run. Okay, first thing, did I do my one thing? My one thing, if you're new here, is thinking ahead and preparing if I need to, like the night before, in preparation with just making sure that the next morning I am all set to write early in the morning, because that's my best writing time, and with classes and other things I tend to run out of time very easily, and it just slipping out of my hand, and then you blink and the day is over and I haven't written. So that's the whole premise of the challenge, just in case you come in at day 23. So have I done my one thing yesterday? Well, let me think back. As I said, my class is at 11. So I had a little bit of a slow morning, and it could spread out, so to speak, a little bit. Did I prepare anything yesterday? I was planning to already set out I needed some things for the class today, and we're doing a workshop. I'm very curious how it's going to work out. We're leading the workshop, and it's kind of like an experimental idea. I had to just assemble a few materials, but I didn't end up doing that yesterday. I don't know why, but I ended up going to bed. I barely remember yesterday night, to be honest. I know I wanted to set up the objects. I also wanted to do the ceremony text. I didn't either. I was just in bed, and then eventually fell asleep, but it was fine. Okay, so the ceremony, let me tell you, when I tell you the joy that I felt this morning. So usually I more or less every day try to write out a little something to honor and celebrate our achievements of the day in a way. So, and in a creative, fun way. And this time Mateo had the inspiration, and he wrote out a little snippet thing. And it's the best thing ever. So he took kind of the idea of time travel. Imagine we have from Back to the Future, we have Doc and we have Marvin McFly, I think is his name. And Doc is yo boy, let's do an exciting thing. I have my time traveling car already, and we are going to go see these famous authors and poets from back in the day, but we're going to see them before they were famous. And I didn't even clock that. I didn't clock any of this potential of the idea of time travel. Okay, I didn't see the potential, but he was we're going to go back to when they were doing the one thing challenge. Isn't that so cute? And it was a whole little thing, and it was wonderful, amazing. No notes, 10 out of 10 points. So yeah, anyway, and while we're doing little announcements, also Leah finished her draft yesterday. It's so cool. It is so freaking cool. She sped through this whole thing, and she had this deadline. She wanted to finish the draft before the end of this month. I think that's the deadline that she set herself, and as you can see, there's still a week out and she's already done. Incredible. Anyway, so yeah, basically, I guess I didn't really do a thing yesterday, knowing that I would have enough time today. And so this morning I did write, though it was very rough going. But I did, like, I went to quickly shower, and still caught some people in the sprint channel, and later also Mateo joined me, even though it was quite late for him. And it was very slow going. I was still in the scene that was like troubling me yesterday. And then Mateo helped me brainstorm the scene, and now it's like in much better shape. I didn't write it yet. I just wrote down all the notes and ideas. I feel much better about it now. And like I have a much clearer idea of what the three characters in the scene, what they want and how it's going to go. And then after that, I'm really excited about the scene after that because I have it already so clear in my mind. It's this really cool visual of like Marta is she's going to swim out to like a ship that is not a ship, a boat, a dinghy, slightly off the shore of this magical island, and she's going to swim out and like get into this dinghy, and then she like looks back and she's like in this cerulean sunbathed sea, right? And then she looks back and the island disappeared. The island just disappeared because she's a human, and so she can only like see it when she's on it, because only mermaids can find the island, if that makes sense. I'm not entirely sure if I will just skip ahead or if I will try and write the scene that I was brainstorming today. When I write tomorrow, maybe I should do that, because then I prove to myself that the scene does work. But yeah, so much rambling. It's time for a prompt for today. Oh my god, and let me tell you one more thing. Yesterday during my live stream, everyone was so wonderful and had like so many cool ideas. I freaking love it. Like, we did some prompts, and usually I just like, they're just meant to inspire and get you going with whatever you're working on during the live stream. But like, people were writing little snippets and little sentences and story ideas and poems and little short stories, like, or like flash fiction, I suppose. I was like, all right, let me try something too. And I also wrote like a 4-sentence type thing. But yeah, it was so cool. It was so cool. I'm always so happy when people play along with the prompt. And I don't know if I said it in the video yet, but I'm really excited about Dana's Drabble challenge in February. I thought I would only like participate because I have signed up for a live stream of hers. You can see, I'll read it out in a second. But I didn't have the intention originally to like really do the challenge of like really writing a drabble every single day. And a drabble, as I understand it, is like a 100-word type thing. And for every day, Dana has a bunch of prompts like already provided. And we all write these little drabbles, everyone who participates in whatever form, and then we can like post them and like tag her in it and everything. And I'm so excited, like, especially with how much fun I'm having with these prompts, and with how I will probably be busy with exams, and maybe I want to like slow down with the works in progress and do just a little bit of fun writing on the side that doesn't take up too much time. I basically decided that I'm going to fully participate in the challenge and just do a drabble every single day, and I'm so excited about it. And at the same time, it's also Evelyn's Hunger Games themed writer games challenge going on. Now, I chose not to like take up the mantle of the fantasy district. Like, it's organized by genres. If you didn't know, I will link both of their channels and the information to their challenges down below. Like Evelyn also has like a whole Discord, and she has a whole like basically like a short film introduction, and she always goes all out and it's fantastic, and you should definitely check both of them out. Anyway, so it's kind of like you choose a district according to the genre that you're working on. You submit the words that you write in to help your district win, basically the Hunger Games. And I would have always chosen fantasy. I decided not to do that because I don't want to drag down like the average, because it's going to be averaged across participant. But you can be a sponsor, and I'm going to be a sponsor if I like write 100 words every day. Maybe some more, because let's be honest, I will probably not be super short, and the rules with Dana's Drabble challenge aren't so strict. You can like kind of adapt them. So I think it's just like, for me, it's just going to be, I will try to be short, but sometimes I think I'm just going to be a little bit longer, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to contribute just my little itty bitty word counts during Evelyn's challenge. I'm really excited, and let's look at the prompt before this. Wow, okay. Hilarious also. Very fitting. Very fitting with the idea of the Jabbles. It goes, come up with a story idea from a random sound plus an object plus a setting. And then because I write fantasy, I said fantasy style, but obviously if you write a different genre or whatever, like you can choose whatever. You can also choose a genre that you usually don't write in. You're your own person. And I had written those prompts for myself before I shared this challenge. I guess I won't write the story per se, but let me get my laptop real quick. Okay. Okay. Okay, what did it say? A sound, an object, and a setting. Well, those are the kinds of prompts that I used to have during my live streams. I still have them. Have them in a little baggie of used prompts. Should I choose them, or should I just make something up? Maybe I will just like see what I'm hearing. I heard a sniff. I hear the cars. I hear like the sound of hands on fabric. I hear keyboards. I hear my own voice. Breathing, sniffing, sighing. I don't know, something else. You know what? We'll go with some old prompts because I'm not coming up with a good idea right now. I've been doing prompts in my live stream for a while. As you can see, I don't remember which color was which. Orange was setting, so I can do. So here's an orange one. It is a tower, perfect for fantasy. I think red might have been object and yellow a sound. So let me grab a handful. Let me take a red and a yellow. So we have a red. Perfect. It says spell book. And we have a sound. And it says hissing. Okay, perfect for fantasy for sure. Okay, so hissing, I'm thinking cat. I'm thinking a dragon, like a little dragon, pet dragon maybe. A kettle. Hissing could also be a spell book going up in flames. Like starting to smolder. A tower. Like I immediately think Rapunzel, right? A castle. Ooh, how about a tower in the sky on a floating island or something, like a floating rock type thing. Wind is constantly hissing through the gaps in windows and stuff. Let's go maybe with a character who I usually do not write. Let's say it's a young boy who has been looking for this tower for a long time. He has been in search on his like sort of like an airship. Could also be an airship looking like a real ship. A long time. It's like an abandoned. I'm getting like inspiration from various places, but I know that Kerry was like writing a short story, which also has something to do with like floating islands. So I might have stolen that from her, but I was also thinking of like the Castle in the Sky, the Ghibli thing. It's an abandoned island. Maybe usually these islands, these floating islands, are all connected, like chained together. But this one had gotten loose and lost. So he enters the tower. He hears the wind rustling and whistling and everything. I'm typing with one hand right now, just so I can keep the mic real close because my roommates are out there again. He walks up the winding staircase. Like it's a really high tower, I think. Or would it just like fall over? I don't know. And then he's surprised by heat and hissing. The smell of smoke. Turns out a dragon has made this tower her home, and she really likes sleeping amongst the books. And I don't know what happens then. I feel my time is running out again. And I can't be late, actually. I think I might finish this one later, actually. I have to go brush my teeth and be ready. And see you soon. Hi, it's later today. It's 5:30. And oh my god, we had this... we were doing this workshop, as I think I told you about this morning, and it went really well. It was so much fun. It was so creative and amazing to see what happened with like people. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like associating things from the image, from the art piece, and then like playing around with all of these objects and seeing what kinds of sounds they make and making it into like sort of like a soundscape, a performance type thing. It was really cool. Anyway, I have now sort of finished this short story. I'm at the moment in a live stream technically by the Troublemakers, and I'll get back to that later. But I wanted to share with you the short story as I have it now. There are things that I don't know how the story would go, but let me just read you what I have now. And also, as we speak, Leah and Mateo are also doing the prompt as well. Cynthia, I'm sure, would also do it, but she's just not online at the moment. And we like gave each other prompts, really cute, and I'm really excited to see it. And I have already seen Mateo's. It literally gave me chills. So anyway, let me read it. A young boy has been cruising the skies in his airship for a long time, looking for the upside-down tower rumored to be a sea untethered on an abandoned floating island. And in brackets I have, because it's like world building. We love world building over here. It's called Upside Down Tower because it goes both upward and downward, like kind of piercing the island. Also kind of almost growing from the island, which I really like the image of it. In this world, everything is floating islands, but they're chained together. Sometimes one gets pruned, sometimes one simply gets like loose on its own and is lost. He needs to find a specific book. He doesn't know for sure that it exists, but if it does, it will be his way to save his best friend. Also, I think it's so cute. Like, I want this friend also to be a boy, like two boys who are friends doing all of this for each other. I think it's really cute. So we don't know, I don't know what he has to save his best friend from a sorcerer, another dimension, a magical transformation gone wrong. I'm not sure. One day he finally finds the Tower Island. As he enters the tower, the wind is hissing and whistling through gaps in the wall's mortar, and the cracks in the doors and shutters. As he climbs up the winding staircase, he's met with the smell of smoke and also with heat. There's a low rumble coming from the top. A dragon has made the tower her home and sleeps amongst the books, mundane and magical, all thrown together in a huge mass of broken spines and pages singed and fluttering wildly in the wind coming in. And then, I think there might be a feral girl who lives there with the dragon. Maybe she actually lives in like the downward part of the tower, and she will defend her home from him, and and maybe the three of them eventually will go save the boy's friend for reasons I'm yet unsure. But there's a lot that I really like about the story idea, and I will leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have. No, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you. Why are my words not working? Why am I so... What? Am I self-conscious all of a sudden? Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. And that's it. Have a great rest of your day and or night. I hope your writing is going well. And yeah, that's it. Bye.